Howdy drivers, welcome back to Horsepower TV. We are brought to you by Rafter Seed, Livestock Transportation, and Cattle Rolling Crew. Today I want to talk a little bit to you guys about time management. There seems to be a little bit of lack of thereof time management, or people not having them particular skills. If you want to do this and be successful at it, you had better learn how to manage your time, when to take your naps, when to do your washouts, when to do everything you need to do, because everything is done on a pretty tight schedule at times. If you are told to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning, that don't mean come rolling in at 6:15 or at 6 o'clock. That means you need to be there, for me, 5 o'clock, maybe even 4:30. If I'm not an hour and a half early, I'm late. But I understand not everybody's that way. But you need to be there at least 30 minutes early. Give you time to check your truck out, get your trailer ready, and all that kind of stuff, so that when they are ready on time, which they are more times than not, you'll be ready to go. Let's use Spring Run for example. I've been on a lot of these gigs where let's say you're going 750 miles one way loaded. Okay, that don't sound like too bad. It's easy enough done, but you're going to be doing that every day. So in other words, you're going to load in the morning, you're going to run 750 miles, you're going to unload, and you got 750 miles to go back the next day, so you can be there. So you load on Monday, you got Tuesday to get back to reload for a Wednesday morning. So you start putting those things back to back to back to back, and they wear on you after a while. The best thing to do is when you get unloaded, you might look at your watch and say, okay, I can take a 2-3 hour power nap. You get that power nap in and you haul ass. If you're lucky enough and you don't need to wash out, your trailer's dry, it's just got dried sawdust or dried dirt in it and everything, to haul another load, you're good, you're safe for that trip. You haul ass back, and you get back as fast as you can. If your trip is going good, you get tired in the afternoon, you can always stop and take a nap. But the goal is to get back to your load in as soon as possible, so you can get the longest night of sleep and the best quality of sleep the night before you load. If you try to take a long nap when you get unloaded, then you're hustling and moving all day long, fast all day long. It wears on you doing that. You got traffic, you're dealing with everything else you got to deal with. You're pressed for time, you're constantly looking at the clock, and you come rolling in the next morning, and you're supposed to be there at 6, and you come rolling in at 5. Don't give you a lot of time to nap, and you're going to turn around and reload, and now you're going back loaded, and now you're tired. You want to be the freshest in the mornings of your load. So those are things that you need to keep in mind, because if you don't do it that way, and you start getting too long of naps on your unload end, it will start wearing on you, and by the end of that first week, you're done. You're going to start missing loads because you just can't do it, and all that kind of stuff. That's one of my pet peeves, guys showing up late. I don't have much tolerance for that. I get kind of excited. It's just not the right thing to do. And you've got to be. You just when they get the cattle ready to go, if they ordered 6 trucks, they want all 6 trucks there. They don't want 5, and maybe the 6th one will come straggling in a little bit later. Because once you start getting in that pattern, then you just can't get out of it. It's a rut that will, it just makes us all look bad. So if you want an ash chun, show up late. We'll oblige you. But anyway, don't be that guy. Okay, don't just get your time figured out. Figure out what you got to do for the day. Whether you got to wash out, sometime during the day you got to stop for fuel. Try and have your fuel tanks tanked up in the morning before you load, so you can go as far as you can before you might have to stop again or whatever. Try to keep your stops minimal. Just check the cattle, throw fuel on a little bit, and then go again during the day. But don't be trying to get everything done that you need to get done and sleeping all you need to be sleeping and all in the wrong spots. You got a trip plan. You got to figure out how, when, where, and all that in order to be on top of it. You don't just go and not have a plan, because it will come back and bite you in the ass sooner or later. For whatever reasons, if you're not doing your trip inspections, and you're not doing anything else you need to do at the right time of the day, or in the right area, or whatever. It doesn't seem like it, but everything falls into play when you're trying to turn and burn and make time back to a certain point. So just keep that all in mind, and just like I said, time manage. There's kind of an art to it. So once you get it figured out, it's not too bad. But I want to throw in there a don't be that guy today. These washouts that we use, there's a lot of them there that are user discretion. In other words, or honor system. That's the word I'm looking for. That they want you to to pay for your shavings, pay for your washout, do all that, but there's not really anybody there monitoring it. Okay, those washouts cost a lot of money for those boys who's got them, and they got permits, they got all this stuff they got to pay for, and if you come rolling in there and you think, oh man, I can't really afford it, I just won't pay him this thing. You start doing things like that, and guess what? Then we ain't got no washouts. When you get to those facilities that have amenities where they got showers, they got shavings, they got everything you need all in one spot. We had the guy that owns. I was talking to an owner of one the other day, and he tells me about a guy that calls him. He calls him, he's whining and crying, and he ain't gonna get there till late, middle of the night, and he wants to know if there'll be somebody there to wash him out. So 2 o'clock in the morning, they make arrangements that when he comes rolling in, they'll be there to wash him out. So they wash him out, and then he uses the shower facility, and he gets shavings and all that. And so the next morning, when they're tallying up the tallies, and they find this ticket that the kid filled out, he paid for their truck wash, but he didn't buy any shavings, even though he took shavings. And he didn't pay for a shower donation or anything like that, even though he used the shower. And he leaves a comment on the card, oh, and the shower was out of towels. You know what, boys? Have some towels of your own, just in case that ever happens. You always have your own towels in the truck. That's just a given. But that's pretty shitty on your part to do something like that. So don't be that guy, okay? Just have your own crap. Pay for what you use so that facility will always be there for the rest of us when it comes time to need it. And trust me, you get places and scenarios where you need it and it's not available, it can get uncomfortable or ugly or whatever the word is I'm looking for. It's just not, it's not fair to the guy that owns the place. So just be cool and pull your own weight. I mean, we all got to pay to have those places around. It's not fair for him to keep raising the prices on the rest of us who pay everything, and then you guys come in and don't pay for nothing and use the facilities and trash them out and complain about them, and then pretty soon he goes broke because he can't afford it, and then none of the rest of us can afford to even go there anymore or whatever. It's just, don't be that guy. Don't be an ass. Just pull your own weight. Clean up after yourself. Don't be a pig. So anyway, that's all I had for today. So you guys be good, be safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.